In lesson 5-2, we will be adding and subtracting fractions. We will be adding and subtracting both like fractions and unlike fractions. We call them like fractions if they already have a common denominator. So like fractions, for example, would be 7/8 would be like 3/8, because both of these fractions already have a common denominator. Another example would be 3/4 and 1/4. These fractions are like because they have a common denominator. Unlike fractions would be an example here, 1/3 and 7/8. These fractions are unlike fractions because they do not have a common denominator. What we'll need to do is find a least common denominator, or LCD. So add or subtract like fractions, add or subtract the numerators, and write the result over the denominator. So 1/5 plus 3/5, we have like fractions, so we can write 1 plus 3 over 5, or 4 over 5. Same thing when we subtract. If you have like fractions, 11/12 minus 4/12, we can rewrite that as 11 minus 4 over 12, or 7/12. So in example number 1, I see that we have like fractions because the denominator is 12 for both. So I will rewrite the numerators, 7 plus 4 all over 12, and that equals 11/12. Okay, if I pull down my screen here, I can see a picture of that. I have my 7/12 right here, and if I add 4/12 all together, I have 11/12. In example number 2, I see that I am dealing with like fractions. Whenever I have a common denominator, I can start working through the problem right away. So I will rewrite this as 5 minus 1 all over 6, or 4/6. And since both of these numbers are even, I want to get this fraction into simplest form, so I'll divide both numerator and denominator by 2 to get 2/3. Again, if we take a look at the picture here, if we start with 5/6 and take away 1/6, we're left with 4/6. And again, we want to write that in simplest form, so 2/3 is our answer. All right, for this problem, 1/3 plus 1/9, I do not have an LCD, least common denominator. So I need to figure out when one of those is. I know that I could use the L method to do this, but I think I can see that I can make 3 a 9 by multiplying by 3. So 9 is going to be my least common denominator. So if I multiply the bottom by 3, I will also need to multiply the top by 3. So I'm going to get 3/9 plus 1/9. All right, now since I have a common denominator, I'm going to rewrite the numerators on top with the denominator being 9, and this equals 4/9. And this is in simplest form because 4 and 9 do not have a common factor. Example number 4, 3/4 minus 1/6. Okay, I can't start working on this problem until I find a common denominator. So I could use the L method, but I can see here that I can make 4 a 12, and 6 also can be made into a 12. So 4 needs to be multiplied by 3, so I'll do the same thing on top. And 6 needs to be multiplied by 2, and I need to do the same thing on top. So I'm going to get 3 times 3 is 9 over 12. And I was subtracting before, so that will stay the same. 1 times 2 is 2, and then that's going to be over 12. So now that I have a common denominator, I can rewrite the numerator over the same denominator. So 9 minus 2 over 12, or 7/12 is simplest form. A picture is mounted on artboard that is 1/8 of an inch thick. The frame for the picture is 1/2 of an inch thick. So how much thicker than the picture is the frame? Okay, the question here we need to focus on, how much thicker than the picture is the frame? So since the frame is 1/2 inch thick, we need to find the difference between 1/2 and 1/8, because 1/2 is bigger than 1/8 of an inch. So we need to find a common denominator. I know that I can make a 2 into an 8 by multiplying by 4, so that will be my LCD. So I'm going to get 4/8 minus 1/8. And I can rewrite that as 4 minus 1 all over 8, which can be simplified to 3/8 of an inch. So the frame is 3/8 of an inch thicker than the picture. In example number 6, Gene ate 5/12 of the pizza. Ambrose ate 1/3 of the pizza. So how much pizza did they eat all together? So we need to take 5/12 plus 1/3. And right now we're not comparing the same size of slices of pizza. So I know that I can make 3/12 by multiplying by 4. So I need to do that to both top and bottom. So I'm going to get 5/12, that will stay the same, plus 4/12. And that equals 9/12. And I know that 3 is a common factor to both of these numbers. So I'm going to divide by 3 to both the numerator and denominator to get 3/4 of the pizza. So together, they ate 3/4 of the entire pizza.